The internet's lying to you about building wealth in 4 years with a volatile commission-based career like roofing sales. But here's what they don't tell you. The math actually works, and it's simpler than you think. What's up, Roof Money Pros? Mike here with Roof Money Pro, and today we're running the actual numbers on something everyone argues about. Can 4 years actually build real wealth, or is that just another get-rich-quick fantasy? Now here's the truth. Most overestimate what they can do in 4 years and underestimate what's actually possible when the math is on your side. You've got people making 100 grand a year who are broke, and others making 60 who are wealthy. The difference isn't luck, it's understanding the equation. My mission is simple, to help roofing professionals like you maximize your careers and build wealth. And today, you're getting the breakdown that shows exactly how 4 years of discipline turns into lifelong independence. If you're tired of wondering where your money goes and ready to see the actual math behind wealth building, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's break this down step by step. Before we talk numbers, you need to understand what wealth actually means because most people get this completely wrong. High income doesn't equal wealth, period. You can make 6 figures and still be one emergency away from broke. That's high income, not wealthy. Wealth is when you own more than you owe. It's when your money makes money without you lifting a finger. It's freedom to walk away from any job because you got assets to cover your life. Net worth is simple math. Take everything you own, like your savings, investments, property, and subtract everything you owe. That's your net worth. Positive number, you're building wealth. Negative number, you're going backwards no matter how much you make. But here's the kicker. Net worth is just one piece of an overall picture. Cash flow matters more long term. That's money flowing into your account from assets. Rental income, dividends, interest, royalties. Money that shows up whether you work or not. The goal isn't just stacking net worth. It's creating cash flow that eventually replaces your income. Your paycheck stops the second you stop working. Assets keep paying forever. That's the fundamental difference between rich and wealthy. Rich people have big paychecks. Wealthy people have big asset columns. And here's what nobody tells you. You can build a massive asset column in just 4 years if you know the formula. Here's the equation that changes everything. Financial independence happens when your assets generate enough cash flow to cover your expenses. That's it. That's the whole game. If your monthly expenses are $4,000 and your assets throw off $4,000 in cash, you're financially independent. Doesn't matter if your net worth is $200,000 or $2 million. The ratio is what counts. 4 years is enough time to build the asset base that starts generating real cash flow. Not enough to retire maybe, but enough to change your life completely. Let's get into the actual mechanics of how wealth is built. There are only 3 levers you can pull to build wealth. Your income, your savings rate, and your investment returns. That's it. Everything else is just noise. Income is how much you make. Savings rate is the percentage you keep. Returns are how fast your money grows. Master these 3 and wealth becomes automatic. Here's something that blows people's minds. In the first 4 years, your savings rate matters way more than your returns. Think about it. If you save $20,000 a year at 8% returns, you make maybe $1,500 in investment gains year 1. Not life-changing, but that $20,000 you saved, that's all you, and it's the foundation for everything that comes next. Double your savings rate, and you double your wealth building speed immediately. Try to double your returns. Good luck. You're either taking massive risk or you're delusional. Early on, focus on saving more. The returns will compound over time, but you can't compound money you never saved. Let's talk real numbers for roofing reps. You're probably making anywhere from $60,000 to $120,000 depending on your market and hustle. Some of you are crushing it at $150,000 or more. A realistic savings rate for commission earners is 20 to 40%. Not 20 to 40% of gross, 20 to 40% after you set aside 30% for taxes. So if you're clearing $80,000 after taxes, saving $20,000 to $30,000 a year is the target. That's 25 to 35%. Aggressive, but absolutely doable if you're not financing a lifestyle you can't afford. Let's break down exactly what happens to your money over 4 years. Compound interest is when your money makes money, and then that money makes more money. It's exponential, not linear. Year 1, you earn returns on your contributions. Year 2, you earn returns on your contributions plus the returns from year 1. By year 4, you're earning returns on returns on returns. That's compounding. Let's run some actual numbers. Say you're making $100,000 gross. After 30% for taxes, you've got $70,000. You're living on $45,000 and saving $25,000 annually. Year 1, by year end, you manage to invest $25,000 at an average 8% return. Year 2, another $25,000 invested. Your first year's money grew by another 8%, and year 2 ends with about $52,000 total. Year 3, another $25,000 in. Previous money is compounding. You're sitting at around $81,000. Year 4, final $25,000 contribution. Your portfolio is now around $112,000. That's starting from zero and hitting 6 figures in investable assets in 4 years on $100,000 income. And we haven't even talked about raises, bigger commission checks, or side hustles. Now flip the scenario. Same income, but you're only saving 10%, $7,000 a year. After 4 years, you've got maybe $31,000. Still progress, but you just gave up $81,000 of wealth by not optimizing your savings rate. The math doesn't lie. Your savings rate is everything early on. And here's where it gets exciting. That $112,000 at year 4, let it sit for another 10 years at 8% returns without adding another dollar, and it's worth $242,000 without adding another dime. Add $20,000 a year in contributions during those 10 years, and you're pushing over $500,000. That's enough to generate $20,000 to $30,000 a year in passive income. The compounding formula is simple. Money doubles roughly every 7 to 10 years at 8 to 10% returns. 4 years plants the seed. The next decade grows the tree. Here's what people miss. Those 4 years aren't just about money you accumulate. They're about building the habit, the discipline, and the system that runs for the next 30 years. The rep who saves and invests for 4 years has created a pattern. That pattern, left alone, creates wealth automatically. The rep who never starts, they're starting from zero at age 40, 50, or 60. Consistency turns 4 years into freedom because it builds momentum that's almost impossible to stop. There's a magical moment in wealth building where your investments start earning more annually than you're contributing. That's the tipping point. And it usually happens around years 6 to 10, depending on your numbers. At that point, you're not really building wealth anymore. Your money is building wealth for you. You just keep showing up and not screwing it up. 4 years gets you close to that tipping point. Another 2 to 6 years, and you cross it. That's when financial independence stops being a dream and starts being inevitable. Now let's talk about why most reps making great money still end up broke. You get a raise, you upgrade your life. Bigger apartment, nicer truck, more expensive habits. Before you know it, you're making 50% more but saving the same amount, or less. Lifestyle inflation is the silent killer of wealth. It creeps up one decision at a time. $100 more on rent here, a $400 car payment there. Suddenly you need every dollar you make just to maintain the life you built. The fix? Live like you make 20% less than you do. Bank the difference. Every dollar going to debt payments is a dollar not building wealth. Credit cards, car loans, personal loans, they're all wealth destroyers. And here's the math. A $400 car payment for 5 years is $24,000. Invest that same $400 a month at 8% instead, you'd have $29,000 after 5 years. That's a $53,000 swing. Financing stuff you don't need kills your future to impress people today. Stop doing it. You can't manage what you don't measure. If you're not tracking where your money goes every month and what your net worth is every month, every quarter, you're flying blind. Most reps have no idea they're spending $600 a month on food delivery and subscriptions. They don't know if their net worth went up or down this year. They're guessing, and guessing doesn't build wealth. Just like sales, track everything, know your numbers. Make decisions based on data, not feelings. Roofing is stressful. Long days, rejection, weather delays. So you blow off steam by spending. New gear, nights out, impulse buys. It feels good for 5 minutes, then the money's gone. Emotional spending is a habit, and habits can be changed. Find cheaper ways to deal with stress. Work out, read, build something. Stop using shopping as therapy. The biggest mistake isn't spending too much. It's waiting to invest. Every year you delay is a year of compound growth you lose forever. Start small if you have to, but start now. $100 a month invested consistently beats $500 invested sporadically. Consistency is everything. Let's build the actual roadmap you'll follow. Year 1 is about taking control of your money. You're not trying to get rich. You're trying to stop the bleeding. Eliminate high interest debt. Credit cards, payday loans, anything over 10% interest. Kill it fast. These are wealth destroyers and they have to go first. Set up budget systems. Know where every dollar goes. Create separate accounts for bills, taxes, savings, and investing. Get organized. Build a cash reserve. Start with $1,000 for emergencies, then push toward $3,000 to $5,000. This prevents you from going into debt when life happens. Year 2 is about building a foundation that can't be shaken. Automate savings and create an emergency fund equal to 3 to 6 months of expenses. This is your safety net. Without it, you're one bad month away from disaster. Start tax planning. Set aside 30% of every check automatically. Open a high-yield savings account at a completely different bank just for taxes so you don't see it every day. Come April, you're writing a check without stress. Lock in your systems. Your budget should be on autopilot. Money moves to the right accounts automatically. You're not thinking about it anymore. It just happens. Year 3 is when things get fun. You're stable, you're organized, and now you're ready to grow wealth aggressively. Invest 30 to 50% of income into diversified assets. Index funds, REITs, maybe even saving for a rental property down payment. You're not just saving anymore. You're building assets that pay you back. This is also when you start learning about real estate, index fund strategies, or starting a side business if that's your path. Year 3 is education and aggressive execution. Year 4 is about multiplying and protecting what you've built. Your investments should be throwing off real cash flow now. Maybe it's $100 a month, maybe it's several hundred or $1,000 or more. Either way, you're earning money without trading time. Establish wealth protection. Get proper insurance, life, health, disability, liability. If you build significant wealth, talk to a licensed financial advisor who's a fiduciary about asset protection strategies. You're protecting what you've worked hard for. By the end of year 4, you're not just a high-income earner anymore. You're a wealth builder with options, momentum, and freedom. And here's the mindset shift that makes everything work. Every overnight success story you've heard took years. The real estate guy who got rich quick was saving and learning for 4 years before he bought his first property. The stock market millionaire was investing consistently for 6 years before the portfolio took off. Overnight wealth is a myth. Consistent wealth building over 4 to 6 years? That's reality, and it's available to anyone willing to do the work. Spenders ask, can I afford this? Investors ask, what's the opportunity cost? Every dollar you spend is a dollar not invested. That $100 dinner out because you didn't feel like cooking or eating food in the fridge? In 30 years at 8% returns, that one dinner is $1,000 you gave up. The new truck payment because your vehicle is 5 years old? That's your retirement you just financed. Start thinking like an investor. Every spending decision is an investment decision. Choose wisely. The hardest part of building wealth is the middle. Year 1, you're excited. Year 4, you see progress. But years 2 and 3, that's where most people quit. Here's how you stay motivated. Track your net worth monthly. Celebrate small wins. Watch the number grow. Even if it's slow, it's working. Surround yourself with people who are building wealth, not spending it. Join communities, read books, listen to podcasts. Keep the goal in front of you. Visualize your future. What does life look like when your investments cover your bills? When you can take a month off without worry? When you can retire at 50? Keep that vision alive. Discipline compounds just like money. The habit of saving gets easier. The habit of investing becomes automatic. The habit of saying no to dumb purchases becomes natural. By year 4, you're not just using willpower anymore. You're just running the system. And that system will run for the next 30 years if you let it. 4 years can either be a blur of income and expenses with nothing to show, or it can be the foundation of a lifetime of wealth. The numbers are simple, but the discipline is rare. If you can live on less than you make, invest consistently, and stay focused for 4 years, the math will work in your favor. It's not magic, just compound growth doing what it always does. The question isn't can you build wealth in 4 years? The math already answered that. The question is, will you build wealth in 4 years? That's about habits, systems, and choices. Start your 4-year wealth journey today by running your own numbers. Make sure your income is being allocated intentionally toward freedom, not just fast cash. If you're ready to get the exact system that makes this possible, then enroll in the Feast Cash Flow System. The course walks you through setting up your entire wealth building system step by step. You'll get the templates, the automation strategies, and the exact percentage breakdowns that successful roofing reps are using right now. The link is in the description, and your 4-year countdown starts the moment you enroll. And if you found value in this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm dropping weekly financial strategies and insights built specifically for roofing professionals. See you in the next video.